A little while back, we named the best all-time NBA starting five from every continent. In this video, I want to name the best active starting five from every continent heading into the 2022-2023 NBA season. These continents include Asia, Africa, Europe, Oceania, South America, and North America. Now, some countries are up for debate on which continent they belong in. Take, for example, Turkey and Russia. These countries are geographically both in Asia and Europe, but I'll allow them to participate in Team Asia since Team Europe already has so much competition. I also want to clarify how a player can represent a country/continent. Take, for example, Giannis. He can represent either Greece/Europe or Nigeria/Africa. I will place the player on the best possible roster to give them the best opportunity to win. For a player to represent a country/continent, they either have to be born there or have direct ancestry there. With these NBA players also playing in different countries, the best way to keep up with their international games is with ExpressVPN. If you want to access your home content while traveling around the world or vice versa, ExpressVPN is the VPN for you. They have 94 countries you can choose to appear from. For example, if you live in the United States but want to catch up on exclusive Netflix or YouTube content specifically for audiences living in Japan, Canada, or France, then ExpressVPN is the easiest way to watch that content without actually moving to that country. All you have to do is use ExpressVPN selection tool to select the country or location you want to browse from and then browse normally as you would. ExpressVPN also helps with keeping your data private and secure, as ExpressVPN prevents your internet service provider from seeing your browsing activity. ExpressVPN puts a stop to this by rerouting 100% of your network traffic through their secure encrypted servers. ExpressVPN invests only in premium servers, making them consistently faster than any other VPN provider. It's easy to use, and you can use it on both your mobile devices and your desktop computer. So what are you waiting for? ExpressVPN is your all-in-one VPN provider. Click the link in the description to sign up today and get 3 months free. You can't beat free. Thanks to ExpressVPN for sponsoring this video. Let's start with Team Asia. This starting five includes point guard Jordan Clarkson from the Philippines, shooting guard Jalen Green from the Philippines, small forward Cedi Osman from Turkey, power forward Rui Hachimura from Japan, and center Alperen Şengün from Turkey. This starting five as of this moment isn't championship material. Maybe if everything works out chemistry-wise to the T, maybe this team cracks the playoffs, but most of these players need a few more years of development. The duo of Jalen Green and Şengün can one day make tons of noise. They both had really promising rookie seasons. I think prime Jalen Green can easily one day become an all-star, and prime Şengün would be up for debate. He certainly can also one day be an all-star, but if we had to be more critical, he could become a legitimate starter's caliber center and a near all-star type of player. Then you got players like Cedi Osman and Rui Hachimura who feel like they are so close to breaking out, but there are so many roadblocks like say injuries and positioning that keeps them in the range of just being nice role players. They're both solid 10-point per game type players, but I think that isn't their ceiling, though that's currently where they are right now. The best player currently on this starting five is Jordan Clarkson, and as of this upload, he is 30 years old and just came off of a 16-point per game season off the bench. As a primary scorer and a starter, I think he could average more points. Clarkson at his best is a player who I can see make an all-star team, but he's not exactly a franchise level player type of talent if we're being super critical. If this was an actual NBA starting five, I would say a team like this wins around 30 to maybe 39 games, and if they are really lucky, can sneak into the playoffs through the play-in tournament. And that's being really nice. Like, odds are this is probably even like a 20-win team. They've got a nice young core for the future, but at this moment, they're more of a building team. Next up, we have Team Africa with point guard Monte Morris from Nigeria, shooting guard Victor Oladipo from Nigeria, small forward Pascal Siakam from Cameroon, power forward Bam Adebayo from Nigeria, center Joel Embiid from Cameroon. Now I know that front court looks like a logjam with 3 power forward centers, but both Pascal and Bam are very versatile defenders who can defend the perimeter, and Pascal can hit threes, which is why I have him at the 3 spot even though he's more naturally a 4. The backcourt is pretty underrated. Victor Oladipo has been out of the limelight in recent time due to his injury, but in a recent interview with Vince Carter, Oladipo has made it clear that he fully intends to rebound from his injury and have one of his best seasons yet. If we get All-Star Oladipo back, then this team becomes very dangerous. We We also can't forget about Monte Morris, who can consistently give you a dozen points and shoot around 40% beyond the arc. And of course, you've got MVP caliber talent, one of the best centers in basketball, Joel Embiid. If this starting five was a part of a real NBA team, this can easily be a playoff team and make a deep playoff run. Is this a championship team? That's tough to say since there could be chemistry issues, as there is quite a logjam with that front court positioning wise, but off of pure talent, you got 3, maybe 4 all-star caliber players, 1 MVP caliber player, so any team with a big 3 or 4 is easily going to be in title connection. There is certainly a chance that this team can win it all. Moving on, we have Team Europe with point guard Luka Dončić from Slovenia, shooting guard Bogdan Bogdanović from Serbia, small forward Giannis Antetokounmpo from Greece, power forward Nikola Jokic from Serbia, center Rudy Gobert from France. This team has 2 MVPs in Giannis and Jokic, and they have another MVP caliber player in Luka. They also have one of the best defenders in basketball with Rudy Gobert, and we can't forget about Bogdan, who is a pretty good 3-point shooter and floor spacer. If this team was an actual NBA starting 5, this team can easily be one of the best teams in the league today, and this roster should have what it takes to win it all. Giannis has already won more with less. If you give Giannis, Luka, and Jokic,
then it's a done deal.
If we had to be critical about the starting 5, the only issue I see is deciding to whether have Rudy or Jokic play center. You would both rather have either one at the 5, but since Nikola is the far better passer and 3-point shooter, he's got to take that power forward position. Next up, we have Team Oceania with point guard Kyrie Irving from Australia, shooting guard Josh Giddey from Australia, small forward Ben Simmons from Australia, power forward Joe Ingles from Australia, and center Steven Adams from New Zealand. Oceania has an interesting team. I think this starting 5 can make the playoffs, but this feels more like a mid-seeded playoff team that can make it to the second round and then get bounced, but anything is possible. Their best individual talent is Kyrie Irving, and while Ben Simmons has been memed these past few seasons, he and Steven Adams will make a great defensive duo. The front court has some great defense for sure. Josh Giddey has potential to be special, but of course has much growing to do. Joe is a great 3-point shooter, and that would really help the front court, especially since Ben and Steven aren't really jaw-dropping shooters. If I had to guess, a team with this starting 5 can win 40, maybe 50 games, make the playoffs, and then get bounced midway through the postseason.
Moving on, we have Team South America with point guard Facundo Campazzo from Argentina, shooting guard Raul Neto from Brazil, small forward Leandro Balmaro from Argentina, power forward Gui Santos from Brazil, center Bruno Caboclo from Brazil.
This is a very young team, and while they all have potential, this team is super young and will naturally have to go through growing pains before they can be experienced enough to reach a playoff level status. If this was an actual NBA starting 5, this team would most likely be a lottery team, and this is of no offense to any of these players. They're all professionals and are very talented at basketball. From a critical lens though, all 5 of these players are mainly role players who can give you solid role player numbers, and if you give them starters minutes, I'm sure their statistical numbers would increase, but this wouldn't instantly produce winning. Overall, Team South America is going through, say, a rebuilding process after GOATs like Manu Ginobili have retired, but I'm sure with enough effort and time, they can make a huge NBA comeback. And last but not least, we have Team North America. Their starting 5 includes point guard Steph Curry from Akron, Ohio, shooting guard Devin Booker from Grand Rapids, Michigan, small forward LeBron James from Akron, Ohio, power forward Kevin Durant from Washington, D.C., and center Karl Anthony Towns, who was born in Edison, New Jersey, but represents the Dominican Republic at the Olympic level. Steph, LeBron, and Kevin Durant on the same team. If this was 2016, this could be the best big 3 maybe in basketball history. In 2023 though, it's still a really good big 3, and of course we can't forget about Devin Booker and Karl Anthony Towns, who have a really underrated role on this team as they're the only players under 30 years old, so their stamina will certainly come in handy. I would say that Curry is still probably the league's best point guard, but it's no longer undisputed like it was in 2016. Guys like Luka and Ja Morant are really coming close in that race. Shooting guard is probably the most debatable position. You could put Jaylen Brown or even find a way to squeeze Jason Tatum onto the starting 5, maybe go small ball and have KD or LeBron at center. Overall though, with this current starting 5, I do think we have a championship caliber team.
And by think, I mean, yeah, this team's winning a few rings.
I don't know if they would have the best record in the NBA, not because they're not talented enough for it, they certainly are, but because it actually might be better for them to save their gas for the playoffs and end up with, like, say, the 3rd best record instead of the 1st. But regardless, regardless, this is a title team. So here is every continent's best active starting 5. Let me know what you think of this list and what continent has the best starting 5. Don't forget to dunk on that like button and subscribe with notifications turned on. I'm Rebound Rewind, and I'll fast forward to you later.